The City of Washington Parks and Recreation Commission meeting called to order on Wednesday, October 2nd. Can we have roll call, please?
All right, roll call. Bob Zurich, John Freitag. Here. Bob Kleppel, Kevin Creedy. Here. Tessie Steffens,
Here.
Sparky Stuckenschneider, Jeannie Miller-Wood,
Here.
Dave Waymire, Betty Werner,
Here.
Gavin Woolley. Here. Al Bear. Here. Jeff Packey. Here.
Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have approval of the minutes?
There's Bob number one.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Gavin and a second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we were just talking about this, but I'm gonna break Robert's rules for a minute, because I have some special business that lets me do that. And the special news is, so some of us have already been talking about it. This past week at American Bloom Convention, there was an award given that you might really not hear a lot about, and it's called Community Champion. And it was created in 2009 for recognition of an individual who exemplifies community leadership. This award is extremely special and given to an individual who demonstrates a vision and selfless commitment to moving a community forward. This person has inexhaustible work ethic, kindness, and a great sense of humor, and has truly helped our community in creating an inviting environment for residents to live, work, and play. On behalf of the Park Board of Washington, I would like us to give our Park Director, Wayne Dunker, an ovation.
Thank you.
Hey, but we're not done yet, Wayne.
Oh,
Yeah, this goes on and on. On behalf of the board, knowing that we have no money,
Who do I need to
we would
Venmo?
like to present you with this token of our esteem for truly a good job.
you guys are quick.
And we also have brownies over there, so if you'd like a brownie during the meeting, Betty will be the lovely server.
All right, well, thank you very much. Oh, no.
Yeah, I hope it holds together.
I don't have to wear this during the meeting, do I? Thank you, it's a crown. It says community champion on it.
Try it on.
Try it on.
Try it on. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. In my well, I didn't have a speech really at all. Like about 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, about 5 seconds before I went up there, I was like, oh, if I do get, because they started rolling through the people, and I was like, oh, if I do get called, I wonder what I should say. Oh, thank you. It's not necessary thing. And so, I mean,
Appreciate it, but not necessary.
quickest thing and best thing, because I think I told some of you guys that I think there's a lot of other people that have come before me that have been nominated from Washington that didn't receive it, that probably should have. And I just organize the chaos, but all the volunteers do all the work and make the town beautiful. I do my part when I can, but most of it's from behind a computer or desk. But so this award, in my speech, I said it's for all of the volunteers in Washington and city staff that make Washington bloom what it is in town and make the city beautiful. So, thank you.
Okay, so now we can go back to Robert's rules, and we can go to our Parks and Recreation Director's Report.
All right, director's report. So tomorrow night, if you guys are looking for something to do on a nice Thursday night and would like to volunteer, or if you're a lady, you can attend and dress up for the Witches on Main Street event. I'm told we have 323 tickets sold. 12 sponsors, which equals about $2,200. So Robin's been hard at work getting all this together. If you go down in our office right now, literally it looks like Halloween has exploded in our office. There's anything to do with witches, it's probably down in our office right now, including balloons and posters and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to be there helping tomorrow night and tomorrow during the day, probably setting up some. The office will be closed tomorrow because it'll be all hands on deck setting up down there. I'll probably be in the office a little bit here and there, but we'll have some closed signs up. I don't know if I mentioned this last meeting or not, probably not, but the boat trailer signs for the parking lot down on the riverfront are in. We have 3 of them installed. I haven't really been down there to see if they're working or not, but they are there, so that's good. Today out at the lake, we had our MDC partnership sign installed to the Lions Lake sign by Pavilion number 3. So it's just an add-on sign to the bottom of that sign. Looks very nice and matches everything else that we do branding-wise in the parks. The crew just finished concrete work, the concrete pad and sidewalk up at Miller Post, above the cabin in that big field. The students from Four Rivers, I think they were up there a little bit today, and they will begin, you'll start to see some progress in the next week or so, probably, with wood going up, beams and things like that. So they've been up there working, Chad's been coordinating with them, concrete's finished, so my guys will move on to the next project and then come back to that and finish grade and stuff like that after the pavilion's up, so. But the next project would be, we got to finish out just doing some light grading and parking lot work down at the riverfront at the new parking lot. And then I was told today that some parts for the lights came in, or should be in, or is here, one of the 2 or 3. But regardless, I think we're getting a lot closer to getting some light poles up down there via the contractor, and then getting those, hopefully, islands filled and lights on, and some grass planted, and we just have a little bit of renovating to do down there. And then we also have to put in the bioswales that go in on each side of that parking lot. So that'll be a upcoming, very soon, fall project that will start. And I also want to remind you guys, there's an e-recycling event coming up on October 19th out at the Swine Pavilion at the fairgrounds from 9 to noon, and that's rain or shine. If you have anything for that, bring it on out. And the splash pad at the pool closed yesterday. So that's the report. Any questions?
Does that mean the pump gets turned off?
Well, not yet, because we're still working. The life floor has a little discoloration. They're waiting for the testing to come back from the company to figure out how to clean it, so. We're still keeping a little bit of chemicals in there, just enough to keep it from not turning fully green.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, we'll move to old business. The Parks Master Plan update.
Keep that on there. We're still in the phase 1 submittal that was submitted. Staff are reviewing it. I've reviewed it. It's been sent out to the selection committee, master plan selection committee. And so they're all reviewing it, and I'm getting information back to the firm, and we'll continue on. Like I said, I think last month I said there'll be another public meeting towards the end of the year, and eventually it should wrap up at the beginning of next year sometime. I think our due date, or the final due date that they want to be done, is April of 25, but it could be done a month or 2 ahead of that, just depending. So more to come on that.
Okay, and our free tree campaign update.
So it's Dave, who couldn't make it tonight, he had contacted the real estate company, and we have 10 trees so far that have been claimed. We have 50 trees, I think, that have been ordered, so we need to get the word out, and that's why Michael, I think I'm going to talk with Michael, the reporter here, after the meeting tonight and try to get something in the paper. We've publicized it on Facebook, and I have flyers up at the library and I think on all the park kiosks, and so it's out there. I know Janie sent it out to some new homeowners, I think. Have it up at Phoenix Park. And so if you know of anyone, please help get the word out. But hopefully the article in the paper will help too. So.
Okay, any questions? We probably should, sorry, Michael, I should have introduced you to the park board. This is our new photographer, journalist for our board meeting. Am I doing that correctly? Okay, welcome. Okay, new business. Okay, AIB Symposium update. What other awards did you get, Wayne?
Well, I didn't get any. The community or the city won a Community Involvement Award, which was a special award from the advisors. So when they were here, we talked about a lot of the stuff we do to thank you for the volunteers and how we're involved with, the city is involved with Downtown Washington Inc. and the Chamber and how we all work together. And then the Weeding Wednesdays and how that comes into play, and the Master Gardeners, and, you know, all these groups that make Washington in bloom what it is. And so we received an award for that.
I think he's glued.
And then again, for the second year in a row, and I believe fourth time overall, we received the top award for our, so we're the top city in our population category, which was 15,000 to 22,000 is our population category that we were in. And so there was six or seven other cities, I think, in that population category. So we won that again this year for the second year in a row, and then the Community Champion Award.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay, second slide edition at the pool.
So I kind of apologize the way this went down. This so during the budget process, I submit my budget, and things get cut and different things like that. And I assume that this project, the second to slide project, could have gotten cut. And at the last minute, when I realized it wasn't going to get cut, I contacted the company that makes the pools, and I said, because I hadn't really thought about this up until that point, which was like late August. I wonder what the lead time is on getting a new slide at the pool. And originally they told me you wouldn't be able to do it by pools. It would come in like July or August of 25, so basically after the season was over. I was like, okay, well then I guess I will take it out of the budget. And then they called me right back and said, and that was from the pool company, the maker, the company that produces the slide would have installed it. But also then I was going through Westport, which is the company that built our pool, and they had contacted the slide company for me. Well, Westport calls me back and says, well, there may be another option. You might be able to get it before you open in May of 25 if two things. One, we as in Westport installs it, and two, you have to commit to putting it in production by September 30th, which is one day before our new fiscal year starts. And so I had to take it to city council last council meeting, which I think was the 23rd of September or so, and asked for their blessing to kind of sign off on the paperwork, even though we weren't in fiscal year 25 yet. And so they told me to proceed, and so I did, and we're moving on. We got a PO done up, and I'm still waiting for some of the paperwork to come back. But I signed a piece of paper saying that, you know, what the price was and what it included and all that stuff. And so we should have a new slide, second slide by the time we open at the end of May of 25.
And where's the second slide gonna go?
So it'll be right next to the current slide. It
Oh,
was
nice.
designed, that's a good question, I'm glad you asked that, because when we designed the pool, we designed the pool to always have an additional slide someday, sometime in the future, and so the piers and things are already in place.
Nice.
What we're paying for is just the actual slide and installation and some parts and pieces and things to get it up and running. But majority of the cost was built into when the new pool was built, so, or a lot of the cost, I should say. Originally, though, a couple of years ago, like when we opened, this pool, the slide was 125, and now it's 250. So that's just how much stuff has gone up
Gone up.
since we opened.
Any questions about the slide?
Yes. Wayne, is, the slide, does it have any age limit of any kind?
I can't remember what our current, it would be the same as our current slide, but I can't remember what the age, well, actually, it's not age, it's height, I'm sorry. Yeah, 48 inches, I think is what it is. So you have to be at least 48 inches to go down it. And so it uses the same platform at the top, and it does a twirl or something, and then it comes down and uses the same catch pool at the bottom, so it'll come out right next to the current slide.
So it'd be right next to on the north side, basically, of that?
Yeah, yeah.
East?
That's why our current slide is shifted so far over to the one side, was always for room for a second slide.
Okay. Any more on the slide? Rental and program report.
We're gonna have to get that to you next month. With me being out of town last week for the American in Bloom Conference and the big Witches event coming up tomorrow, we were not able to get the report together. So we'll have that in November.
Okay, sounds good. Trail connection at the Riverfront Park.
And so this is another project I've been working on for a while, and it's still evolving. And worked on it a lot during the budget process, I should say. And I'm getting estimates. I was getting estimates back right about the time the budget was being approved. And so it's a little over budget right now. And I cut a bunch of stuff out of it to try to save money. And we're going to do some alternates and things like that. Darren, the city administrator, had an idea to do it, to see if we could do it in 2 phases. So maybe do the bathroom part of the project as phase 1, and the trail and the parking lot as phase 2. And so I checked with DNR, who runs our grant for the federal government, and they said, yeah, that's, because we have until October of 2026 to complete the project per the grant. And she said, yep, you can do it in 2 phases as long as you still do everything you said you're going to do in the grant. Whatever you put in the grant, you have to do. And so she was just double checking on that, and the city has, and I still have full intentions of doing the whole project. And so it's not finalized yet. I'm still working through the process, but that's probably what's going to happen, is we'll do it in 2 phases, which will give us a little more time to work on the bigger phase, the parking lot and the trail part of it. The Flag Plaza is a separate project, but would be Flag Plaza renovation, would also be done in conjunction with the trail/parking lot project, because it's all right there. We would be tearing into that small hillside of the Flag Plaza to put in the retaining wall for the trail and the parking lot, and so it's all kind of connected together. I have some money in the general fund budget for that too. Not enough, not as much as I needed. But I know the Lions Club has committed, or at least verbally to me, and they were waiting for me to get a drawing to them, concept drawing, of donating some money to that project too. And then, just to remind you all, tied into that Flag Plaza renovation, which would consist of installation of a memorial brick garden, moving the flagpoles, shifting the flagpoles around a little bit, nice retaining wall, some new benches, new concrete up there, and a real nice landscaping bed up on top there that would add some color to the park there. We can sell bricks and things like that. But like I said, that's a separate project, but kind of in conjunction with the trail grant. So more to come on that. Nothing's been finalized, still working through the numbers. We haven't even heard back. We haven't gotten the environmental report back that we submitted to DNR back in June or July, I think it was. And we can't even move forward till we get that back. So the tribes and everyone are still looking at that, so.
Okay. Any questions? Is there any new? Yeah, go ahead.
Any word on start for the stage roof?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I left that off there. I was supposed to talk about that. Yes, you'll see, work being done. He's gonna start in earnest. I just found this out like a couple minutes, or right before this meeting, in October. He's got some demo work to do. There's a water line that needs to be moved. There's some landscaping stuff we have to move. Steel's coming, it's supposed to be here mid-December. And then they would start installing it. And so I'm working, we had a pre-construction meeting last Wednesday, I think it was. And so I had some things to find out from the city this week. And but you'll start to see fencing going up and things like that here in the next week or so.
Thank you.
Any other business that anybody would like to bring up? It's not discussed? Okay, well then, our next,
The motion.
I need a motion to adjourn in a second.
I make a motion.
I have a motion by Gavin and a second by Bob, I think, is that right? Our next meeting will be November 13th. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the brownie and the card and the crown.
Brownies were spectacular.
Very nice of you.
Thank you, Betty.
Yes, thank you, Betty.
Those are,
They were awesome.
brownies were
Were they
awesome.
good?
Very good.
Sorry,